Smarter marketing thinking. Over recent years it's been reasonably easy to get along in business. You could underperform and still make a profit. That's getting harder and harder. So we've got to do everything a little bit better, and certainly marketing is one such area. But what do I mean by marketing? It's one of those terms that's often used, but we have different understandings of what that might mean. I used to run an advertising agency, and an awful lot of people think about TV advertising or brochures or press material. It's actually much more fundamental than that. Marketing is about identifying a need, stimulating that need, and then satisfying that need. Now, in terms of Secanta, which was founded about 9 years ago, we have a man here who founded Secanta. He identified a need because he was a senior banker. Gordon Wayne was a senior banker, and he noticed through his career that a huge number of SMEs were failing. And why were they failing, or noticeably underperforming? Why? Because of weaknesses in their financial systems. So he came up with a solution, and we stimulate that need, like today, and we satisfy that need by providing very, very high quality FDs into SME companies, people who want to work, are excited to work with growing, vibrant companies. But marketing includes what is made and how it's supplied. It's not just, we've got this product now, you do the marketing of it. It's what should we make in the first place? What business do we want to be in? How is it priced? How is it positioned? How is it communicated? All those things matter. But we're now in this current state of affairs, a difficult recession, even depression people are talking about. There are changing attitudes. Suddenly price is now a big issue. It always was, but it's probably even bigger now. Purchase decisions are slower. It's painful sometimes. Negotiations are even harder. Some people are trading down and buying less. Loyalty is less likely than before. It's certainly not automatic, but trust in suppliers is increasingly important. People don't want to take risks, so they want to trust suppliers. So there's a positive comes out of that sort of list of apparent negatives. And new ideas are still valued. Just because times have got hard, we must not stop having great ideas. So we're in a recession, it's official, by whatever definition. Market size is shrinking. Volumes are shrinking, prices are tighter. But strangely, opportunity, I find, is on the up. Going around the country speaking to our associates, as we call them, these high-power FDs that we supply, they all sort of say, yeah, it's bad, but whoa, there's so many opportunities out there. So SMEs that think have got a great future. So what do we take out of that? If you don't change, you're likely to follow the trend. If you just try and be as it was before, you'll go down. But if you respond quickly and take advantage, you can grow. Got to be flexible, got to be fast. Larger companies, as I say, cannot react quickly. It's just difficult for them. Smaller companies can respond, but don't assume that all realities will hold. The rules of the game are changing. You've got to be sharper, you've got to understand more. You've got to understand more frequently, because what was true last month might be not true next month. The way things have changed over the past 12 months has been quite amazing, hasn't it? And it is a time for creativity. People often in these difficult times retrench. They sit back and try and take least risk and control things too tightly, when actually it's a time to look at the bigger picture. You've certainly got to question assumptions. What is it that we do best? What do we do really well in our company? Do our customers like us? And if so, why? What separates us from our competitors? Even in a commodity market, there are differences. Which products make most money? So many companies don't really know where they're making their money. They produce a range of widgets. These ones are really making the money, and these are just commodity. Understand the difference. What else could we supply? Because a marketing company is one that thinks about the client's need, but a production-orientated company thinks about what we can make, who wants to buy it. So you can make your widgets and then say, we've got great widgets, who wants one? Or you can look at your customer companies and your potential to sell to them. What is it they need? And how can we augment our range to sell to them? Have we optimised our proposition? Are we nice and clear? Do people really understand what we're about? Who else could we supply? Are there other people out there that could take a product that we need? So proposition is tremendously important. And is our pricing structure optimised? The best thing that Porsche ever did was introduce the Boxer, because it was an entry-level point. Say that companies make, and they're now very wealthy for different reasons to motor cars, but still, really, really important I've only got a few minutes here, so I want to focus on this quite strongly. Seek feedback. Understand. Knowledge is power. Customer surveys are really inexpensive. They're hard to do well, but they're easy to do if you get the right person to help you structure them. What are we getting right and what are we getting wrong? You've got to know that. You've got to know that from your existing customers. How do they rate you against competitors? In my experience, most companies that do it find that they are held in higher esteem than they ever thought. And also the process of doing it makes the recipient feel warmer. They care. They're asking my opinion. They like that. What are their key buying criteria? Do you really understand what it is that makes them buy? You've got to know that. How do they see their future need? Particularly times like these. You can't just assume that they bought this last year, it's seasonal, we know we're going to do this. No, they're going to see a different picture because times are changing. How do they prefer to be communicated with? Well, we always do this, we go to this exhibition, we send them a leaflet, we've got the website, we email them every quarter. Yeah, is that what they want? Different people want information in different ways, and you can quite easily, depending on the type of business you're in, you can potentially segment it quite intelligently. Consider your options. New alliances to improve the offer. If there is something that you can deliver but you don't make, get it from somewhere else. There can be working relationships. Outsourcing of functions, which can include production. I mean, outsourcing of something like finance is quite sensible these days because you can, advertising time again, but you can have a really top-notch finance director 2 days a month, 3 days a month, whatever it takes. And it's so much cheaper than employing a ho-hum person. It makes sense to outsource it. It makes sense to outsource HR in smaller operations. But you can even outsource manufacturing. Why run the plant if you don't need to? You've got to think broadly. An added value. Can we do faster delivery? If we get orders in by 5 p.m, can we deliver the next morning? That could be a big point of difference. Lower entry price points, touched on already. Volume, multiple purchase deals. What will encourage people to step up a volume order or a frequency? And you've got to build brand clarity and value. Value in the brand is always going to matter. At times like these, people panic a little bit and try and sell on price, which is not always wrong, but you've still got to build your brand value. And innovation, new product development, still has to go on. And that's part of the creative process. There's an old adage, the best new business is from existing customers. I think most people would believe that. And in a downturn, buyers are seeking to minimise risk, so that they will not leave you if you are continuing to shine in their eyes. But make it safer and easier to buy from you. Whilst you're out chasing all the new business, make sure you really are servicing existing business well. That's all part of marketing. So thinking about existing customers, if on that vertical axis we've got regular customers that are coming every time they have a need, to occasional customers, and left to right we've got low product penetration, that is, we know they're buying a lot more things than we're supplying, through to the high product penetration, where we know we're pretty well supplying everything they need in that particular area. Well, what else can we supply? Let's just look what we could supply to these people, that we could source or produce ourselves. In the high product penetration area in regular, protect that relationship, that's great, but protect it, because other people in these hungry times will be after them. Occasional low product penetration, how do we increase purchase levels? Obviously this isn't just marketing and have a go. If we break it down into chunks of what people are about, we can have campaigns that are sharp and focused into individual types of need. And for the high penetration occasional, can we package a special deal? Can we really put something together here? It's about bespoke relationship on that time. Right now, follow up old cool leads. If they're not completely stone cold, follow them up, see where they're at. Identify competitors, customers, make sure they know you're there. So if something does go wrong, unfortunately companies are failing. Competitors will go to the wall. If they do, you've got to make sure they're aware that you're there and how you can help quickly. Identify hotter market segments. Where are things really sort of moving? Shift emphasis into those areas. Keep your proposition simple. At all times, people don't like to think too hard. Find a way of expressing what you do or the benefit of what you deliver really, really simply. Your website use and landing pages are great things where if you can draw people into your website but not into the home page, into specific areas, it can double, quadruple the effect. Score leads to invest appropriately. Depends what sort of business you're in. I'm talking generically here, and it's difficult to be generic about something like marketing, but Try and have a scoring system so that you're putting the appropriate emphasis on the right types of leads. And winning market share, track changes, understand what is happening, respond quickly and effectively, hit key price points, go down and then sell up. It's easier once you've got a customer to sell them up, so you can start fairly low, build profile and punch above your weight, and communicate well and communicate frequently. It's easier said than done, but the thing is, keep it creative, keep it good, and if you haven't got it in-house, find something that can deliver it. There are a lot of advertising and design companies out there, but unfortunately an awful lot of them just want to redesign your logo or do you an ad. Advertising has its place, but it is not necessarily what you need. You need sharp, focused, information-driven marketing. So punch above your weight. Don't try and make it up as you go along. Do think creatively and be entirely professional. Thank you.